Anyways, so there's a concept in science fiction called a Dyson Sphere.
Which I had heard before, and I'm assuming I've heard it from you in relation to Star Trek.
Correct. I would be crucified on the internet if I did not mention the Dyson Sphere episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation, which had Scotty in it.
Oh, Scotty, James Doohan.
James Doohan. This was before he died.
Oh, okay.
Not after.
Okay.
I should have known.
It's a fictional idea where you could build a sphere around a star, and then inside of the sphere, absorb all the star's energy for yourself. Lock it in.
Aye, an actual Dyson Sphere. Can you imagine the engineering skills needed to even design such a structure?
Yeah, I know, it's pretty amazing.
To either have living space on the inside, use it for power, whatever. In Star Trek: The Next Generation, there's a sun, like a yellow, middle-aged kind of sun, like our sun,
okay,
which is obviously fucking gigantic. Now imagine building a sphere around that,
sure,
with enough space to be far away from the sun. I mean, you're talking 175 quadrillion times the size of the Death Star. I mean, we're talking the big, which is why it's fictional.
So like the Death Star from The Force Awakens, it's bigger.
This is Starkiller Base.
So it's big.
Maybe 175 quadrillion times bigger than that Death Star.
Okay,
We're talking,
so bigger than the moon would be, is what you're saying.
Jay, do you know how big our sun is, right?
So bigger than the moon.
Bigger than the moon. But here's the caveat.
Yes.
Inside our moon's Dyson Sphere, which is obviously a very tiny Dyson Sphere, is a white dwarf star. There's regular stars, like our sun, or stars that are bigger. Stars end their lives in a couple of different ways, right? They turn into red giants.
In about 5 to 6 billion years, the sun will eat all of the inner planets of our solar system and will reach the Earth's orbit, thus entering the red giant phase. The red giant phase of a star will only last a few 100 million years before it runs out of fuel completely and becomes a white dwarf.
A star gets smaller and smaller and turns into something called a white dwarf, which is compressed. Now, science has discovered the smallest white dwarf that exists, which contains about the mass of our sun, but is about the size of the moon.
Okay.
Which compared to the mass of our sun is fucking tiny. Mm-hmm. That's like taking, let's say, a city bus.
Okay.
And shrinking it to the size of the head of a pin. Okay? I might not be right with that, I'm just guessing.